All right, well, what is up, everybody? It's Keith, aka Gator Guy 231, and we are back. It's actually back last night on the Mayo Media Network here at FSI tonight. A little more in-depth breakdown, but I kind of almost think it might be shorter. I don't have like a ton to say on this slate. I think it's very straightforward. It's going to come down a ton what you do at forward two. It's really going to decide the slate, and I'm going to show you a couple of different constructions and ways you can go, but ultimately it's going to be your call, how you see the games, and hopefully it plays out your favor. I just wanted to on this channel, thank everybody that reached out to me on my biggest DFS win to date. 10K in the first Euro slate was awesome. Felt amazing. Yeah, I got nothing else to say. I just want to repeat it in EPL. I've had a really, really close call a couple weeks ago. I think it came down to I played Shaqiri over Shaw, which is the difference between I think I won like 500 versus 5K. So margins are very slim in soccer. Keep that in mind. Quick reminder, bottom right of the screen is the subscribe button. Make sure you have clicked it so you can join, all of the awesome stuff that FSI has. NHL's back. Chris took a little bit of much needed break on that. It's back and forth. We got PGA, NASCAR has been awesome. Major League Baseball started, just all sorts of stuff. So make sure that you are tuned in the channel. All right, let's get to the odds, get to the builds, and get out of here. All right, so 3 games, staggered starts. Just make sure you are saving your utility. First game of the slate, which in my opinion, and look, the odds have reflected this. Last night they were square. It's already switched. I'm sorry, I said that weird. Leeds and City were just as much favorites. I thought that was a mistake. It has now made Leeds the biggest favorite, which is what my view was. Leeds minus 183 at home to Sheffield. Chris Wilder lists Sheffield. Go over that in a minute. 2.5 total. Second game, City versus Leicester. City on the road minus 166. Only 2.5 total. Again, Arsenal and Liverpool is our biggest total. Liverpool slight road faves plus 128. These are the 3 that if you don't start your lineup, I don't know what you're looking at. Got Rafinha at forward, KDB at midfield, Trent Alexander-Arnold at defender. I'm not going to talk about either of the 3 of them. I think you all know those players. If you're watching this, you're already kind of a soccer nut. Those 3 are just the best 3 plays on the slate without a doubt. Now, I love Leeds. Now the bookies finally love Leeds. Chris Wilder left Sheffield. They looked an absolute shambles versus Leicester. 19 shots. Even the game before versus Southampton, I think it was 15 shots when Wilder was there. They've just been dealing with injuries. No Jack O'Connell has been huge for them all season. Sheffield, in terms of their struggles, they just look like a shell. They're going down. I don't know how much the players have to play for, especially without Wilder now. So I really think that Leeds. And here's the other thing with Leeds. Bielsa gets them tired because he doesn't rotate a ton. He has super high energy, high pressing system. Most of those guys, with the exception of Calvin Phillips, who I still like, didn't play in international duty. So they got some time of a break. I think they're going to be all systems firing. I know before break, Patrick Bamford left with an injury, but if he's fit, I think that he's a really, really good play at 8K. If you think Leeds scores multiple goals, he's not your traditional forward play. Mahrez has been awesome. Revenge game versus Leicester. I don't know. I think 9,500 is a little steep. Might split sets with KDB. You just never know with City sets anymore. Mane, I think, is the cashiest play. Might get a chance to go up against Callum Chambers. Or I think Cedric's played over there since Tierney's been back. I think those are your cashy plays. Sterling will probably be popular. Salah. Those are your top end plays. All right. And if you play one of them, so I'm just going to use Bamford because I just really like Bamford. I think Mane and Salah will be more popular, higher total, more name recognition. I just like Bamford, not the cashiest play, but it starts restricting your build, right? 37.25. So a play that I brought up on Mayo Media Network is Calvin Phillips. Yes, he was working during international break for England, but might see some sets. It's a great matchup. Gets me more leads. Calvin Phillips, the reason why he's playing for England is because he's a really damn good player. So now we have 36.66. This is me. So what do we do? Cheapest goalie. Now, I'm actually going to argue I might, because I like Bamford, I'd actually maybe use Casper here since I only have one City. So, now that has 34.50 left. So I can't go get Andrew Robertson, right? Can't get Robertson. Only 1,100 left. So, we're probably punting D in this type of build. Struniak, if you don't think that Sheffield can score, which they struggle, maybe that gives you some clean sheet equity. There's 4K left. Who else is down here in the dumpster bin? Johnny Evans, you could do worse than Johnny Evans at 2,500. Kabak, if starting, should start 2,500 min price. There's some min price options down here, which is surprising. If City, if you see Laporte at 2,600, that'd be tough to go away from. So there's some options down here in the dumpster bin. Let's say that we've used one of the cheapest guys. What does that give you? It gives you 4,400 left, which, there's plenty of options there. So that's a viable build, right? So you can play Bamford, you play Mane, you get a little more salary. I think the other route, and obviously too, don't feel tied to Calvin Phillips. Like I think he's a very low upside play. I brought up also on Mayo, 4,300 Rodrigo, I think makes a lot of sense. This is a game that Wolf and Didi, I've noticed in games versus City, sometimes those other central midfielders do get a lot of interceptions. I think Norwood will be really popular, 44,000 on some set pieces. See if anybody else down here. Not really. So you get the idea there. All right. Other option, depending on lineups. So if Rodrigo is back, this doesn't work, but you could build Tyler Roberts at your second forward. That gives you 4,700 to go. Now, if you want to play Andy Robertson, get all of Liverpool's sets, you can do this type of build and you go. So those are the two routes I found myself in prelim builds doing, and then just kind of going from there. I'm not saying it's right. Like y'all know this by now. Like I just come on here and I just tell you what I'm doing and what I think works. But second forward is inside the slate. That's the whole point I want to make across. Second forward is inside the slate. Everybody in cash is going to have those three. I think paying down a keeper will be popular. It should be. It's just, to me, it's more often that you get a goalkeeper that gets 5 saves and like 1 goal allowed than you do get just like clean sheets and just nail them. I'm just very pro team pay down. But yeah, so midfield, let's just talk if there's any other options here. I don't know, Gundogan, obviously, but I'm just not big on City here. I think Leicester's damn good. Brendan Rodgers had a ton of time to plan. So I kind of mentioned this too, but if City struggles, I even love De Bruyne that much more. Like sometimes the hardest part of playing Kevin De Bruyne is that City scores 2 goals. He doesn't have goal involvement in the first 2. And you're just like, please don't sub. You're not going to cross. I kind of need you to score a goal or get an assist. But when they struggle, he gets a ton of crosses, starts taking some longer shots too. So I think, these two are actually good correlation. Like if Casper's making a ton of shots, stopping a ton of shots, Kevin De Bruyne potentially is putting up a ceiling game in terms of floor. So I do like that. The one thing I'll just mention, where's Jack Harrison? I really do like Jack Harrison, 6,400. Like, let's do like Tyler Roberts. All right, now I got a pretty slick lead stack going on. I think the team I would stack is Leeds. I just think, man, Sheffield could just get burned here. This could so easily be 4 or 5-0. Could so easily be. I saw Alioski's cheap too. He doesn't really cross much. Luke Eiling is better fullback than him, but you go with the cheap guys. Diego Llorente, used to score a couple goals in La Liga, former Real Madrid guy. So you got some options. All right, so I went over Sheffield and Leeds. Man City and Leicester, I think Leicester is going to set up pretty well. It's going to potentially lead to some good floors. So if you can get to Mahrez, like the more I'm thinking about it, kind of makes sense. He's probably the best cash forward. Just depends on the build. I think it's tough to get to him. Liverpool and Arsenal, I'm not going to lie, I just have no clue what to expect. I think for a low-owned forward play, I think Jota makes a ton of sense. Just been doing nothing but scoring for Liverpool and for Portugal. Arsenal can get leaky at the back. So I think that he has to start whether Firmino's fit or not, and maybe they put Firmino as like a 10, drop a midfielder out. I don't know what Klopp will do. But I do think what's really nice is that you have Fabinho. Oh, and he's a cheap defender. Fabinho's playing in the midfield, and he's like $3,400 defender. But once he's in the middle, it lets the fullbacks push up a lot more because now you almost kind of have this like back 3 shell. Fabinho just gets really, really deep, controls the ball, controls the pace, controls the direction, lets Alexander-Arnold for sure push up. Depending on how the game's going, Klopp will let Robertson get going. So, those Liverpool fullbacks can really show you the floor, that we used to pay, $7,500 for each of them. I think Mane is better than Salah for floor. Salah, more goal opportunity for Mane, especially being on PKs. On Arsenal, I can't see playing Arsenal. I think Liverpool's going to control possession. I think Arsenal's going to play in the counter. But, that's just me. Arsenal's not a team I love to play regardless. So, especially versus like Liverpool in a game that I think that, they may struggle to get possession. I'm just not going to force Arsenal on the slate. So, there you go. That's the slate. That's my build ideas. That's my game thoughts. All that good stuff. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you all so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Once again, Keith, aka Gator Guy 231. See you.